So some people say you freeze it. I like to boil it. And just as I'm getting the meat ready and everything, the other ingredients, I start off with 3 cabbage heads and in 2 pots. And then once the first 2 get small enough, I leave them go, and that'll be my, ooh, it's hot. It'll be the cabbage for on top. So there they are. And then, so usually I make about 30. So if you come over, you can see we got over here 6 pounds of meat. So it's 3 pounds of turkey, 2 of pork, and 1 of veal. I used about 2/3 minced onion, liberal amount of peppercorns, salt, but both salt containers are empty, so I might have to go out and find salt from somewhere else. And then 6 eggs, so an egg per pound. And now I'm gonna add the rice, and for this much, I never measure anything. Maybe that's 2 cups or more. I don't know. We'll see, and then we'll mix it all up. And the worst part is the mixing. This business of just kind of forever going round and round. But we'll get rolling. Cabbage is here in a little bit. I cheated. I started early with boiling the cabbage, but normally from the time I get everything going, I can have them in the oven within about an hour. So yeah, when I start rolling, we'll get Jennifer back, and she wants to have a cabbage roll dinner someday. So maybe we will if there are enough interested parties. So this is my contribution to Christmas dinner, and yeah, so it's kind of a tradition. When I was a young priest, I set the oven on fire twice my first Christmas there, because the stuff spurted over and the whole oven caught fire. The house was filled with smoke. I cleaned it all up and put it back in there, and it did it again. I was like, so I gotta watch so I don't burn anything. As much as I'd like a new rectory, we want to keep the one we have for now. So thanks for watching. How many more do I need?
Oh, I didn't count again.
Well, no, I for the meat, that's all. Caraway seed at the bottom of the pan. They say it takes the gas out. I don't know if that's true or not, but we like ours with caraway seed. The next thing I'm going to do is bring over the cabbage. And I kind of commit once I put my hands in the meat. So, to rolling them. And what I'll do is I'll do a layer on the bottom, and then I'll tuck in the spaces the kibasi, and then I'll do another layer. So here we go. This is the most unpleasant part. The trick is not to make them too big, because then I get complaints. So I always take the hard thing. I don't trim anything off. I just leave it all there, and then it goes bottom down. Some people roll theirs, I guess, like little logs. I don't. This is how I do it. So when I first made these, I would always make them with ground beef. And when I went to my friend's house, Jenny Zillick, she had made some. And I said to her, oh my gosh, yours are so fluffy and light. And she goes, yes. And I said, mine are always so hard. She goes, that's because you use beef. So she was the one who turned me on to mixing a blend of meats in order to keep them fluffy and light. The other thing we do is cook them in the tomato juice from the garden. So I don't know if Jennifer showed you the quartz behind you, but that's the stuff that we made, not this summer, but last summer. So and so that's the stuff we cook it in, along with the brown sugar and more caraway seed. I think it was, I just knew I liked them, and if it was going to be Christmas, we had to have cabbage rolls. So And I'll even use these outside ones. They don't cook down as much, but they're still, oh, they're so good. Smaller.
How long did you have to cook your cabbage leaves to
Well, it's
till they
just a
got
little-
to that
it's
point?
Soft.
Just till they.
So, I start off with the, what do you call it, where it was cut off down, the stem down. And then I just roll it over, and I cut the leaves right there at the stem. You can see how they're cut. And then you'll see when I'm done, there's just gonna be like a stalk left, and with the rest of the head. And I'll chop that all up, and that'll get put on top of here. And the thickening at the end of the process, after cooking these for about 2 hours, 3 hours, I'll lay, see this piece of lettuce or this piece of cabbage got boiled too long. I was down on an appointment, but I didn't want to wait too long. Oh, there's some meat all over the place. Normally I'd cook these on my day off and then bring them back, but it's just an unusual Christmas week, so I thought I'm getting a head start. I may have to take these over to the church basement and store, so don't nobody steal them.
So you'll cook them today once they're all
Yeah.
assembled, and then just warm them on
And
Christmas.
The best thing on Christmas to put them in the slow cooker. Christmas morning and plug it in and put it on low, and by the time I leave here after noon mass, they should be pretty toasty, and I've got a good one with a lid that snaps on so I can slosh all over. I do remember one year driving out to my aunt's house in Bainbridge, and I put the roasting pan in the car. It sloshed, and yeah, everything was fine until it thawed out. I smelled cabbage for months until I got the carpet clean. This is Polska kielbasa, some with natural casing, some with no casing, whatever they have. Sometimes I use smoked sausage. Cut them small. Or this is my version of small. Others might say, all right. And then now they come in and they fill in the blanks. And I just tuck them down in between, where there's a space. Make a space. And this will give you the salty contrast to the sweet tomato juice that we cook them in. Nice and tender. And then being a cheap Slovak, you don't want to waste anything. So that's what's left of the head of cabbage right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and over the one where I'm not doing a second layer, oh, I had more caraway seed. So I think for these two pans I went through a big one and a small one. And then, secret ingredient, making it sweet, sugar. Deacon Joe loved these things. Deacon Paul does too. So when he first got COVID, that was my consolation gift to him. I got some stuffed cabbage out of the freezer. Dropped them off. And then this is the secret sauce. Do one more. Rinse it out because it's liquid gold. You want to make sure the water comes up at least a little bit more than half the pan, the juice. You don't want to go too high because when the cabbage will swell and start to float, you don't want it to boil over. So we'll start off there, and then in about an hour, I'll check to see what kind of progress we're making. Into the oven we go. 2:15, about 55 minutes. So. Let's see how this works. Okay. The name of the game is not get burned.
Or drop it.
Oh gosh, that'd be awful. Okay. Don't own an electric roaster. Oh. Well, because it's a smaller pan and there's only one layer in here, these are cooking faster. And
so total of like 4 hours?
3 or 4.
3 to 4?
You wait and see what the cabbage, this will go faster. So this pan will probably be less than 2.5 or 3 hours. Pull the cabbage. I should have pulled it apart more, but I was in a hurry before we were. You want to get the tomato like inside the cabbage. Mix it together. I think what we'll do is get a little bit more here. San Marzano tomatoes, the Italians. That's the kind of tomatoes the Italians like. But they're really only San Marzano if they grow in like volcanic rock. So.
Are those from your garden?
Those are from the garden. Yes, so hopefully in another hour or two we'll be on our way, and then they cool for a few hours and then we'll package them up and get them ready for Christmas and to deliver to my staff members who like to partake as well. Thanks for watching.